Good morning from Sweden. I hope you are well. This is the 27th of February 2026 and this is the I Ching reading for today, where we are looking at the energies around us and learning how to best navigate them in order to have the most smooth and joyous day forward. So I've missed 2 days. I've actually done the readings, but I've not been able to record them and upload them because of other engagements, unfortunately. So here I'm back anyway. I'm going to do my absolute best to do the readings recorded every day. So let's start by rooting ourselves into the present moment. Sit heavily or stand heavily. Really feel like you're connecting to Mother Earth below you, and then breathing in through the nose, and as you breathe in, the spine rises towards the sky, and as you breathe out, you relax, sinking into the seat below or into the surface below more heavily. And as you breathe in, the stomach expands, and as you breathe out, it contracts. So you're breathing in through the nose into the stomach. And feel the tailbone and the lower back relaxing and the spine rising up towards the sky. So it's almost like you're being pulled in two directions. From the scalp, you're being pulled upwards from a string from the universe, and from Mother Earth, the gravity is pulling you downwards. But this is relaxed. This is not like a tension movement, right? There's no tension here. But it's also no collapse. Okay, let's have a look. So how are the energies around us, and how do we best navigate them in order to have the most smooth and joyous way forward? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, windward, mountain, lake. So we have lake. It's joy. Joy. And then let's check the outer ground. So that was the inner ground. This is the outer energies. So how are the energies around us, and how do we best navigate them in order to have the most smooth and joyous day forward? Heaven, earth, fire, water, thunder, windward, mountain, lake. So we have water, so lots of water energy coming over the days. So, and then let's check the changing light. So what is changing here? What is the strongest energy? Where are we in the process of this hexagram? So let's actually, so we've got the fifth line changing. So let's draw the hexagram here. So we've got doing and then we've got kan above. There we go. Actually, it's like that. So water above lake, which means that's an overflow. Okay, so this one comes back again. I actually had this a couple of days ago, 2 days ago, and I didn't record it, but it's the same energy, so it's restricting. So we've got water above lake, so water flowing into the lake and making it overflow, which means we have to restrict. So can and redirect energies. And then the changing line is the fifth 9, which is changing into, so we've got earth, then above lake. earth without, nourishing, responding, out, and then lake, which is inner joy. So cultivating inner joy, so we can spread it with the earth. That's what we're moving in with the people around us, and nourish people around us. Okay, so and then let's have a look at the nucleus, the advanced gua, and what's feeding from within the situation without. So yang, yin, 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 yang, and then we have nourishing, and that is same energies as we had. So let's have a look. If we go back, what I didn't record here, we have, it's almost the same as it was 2 days ago, which is restricting, but then we moved into, it was the 4th, 6th, it turned into a young line, so we had joy, full, joyful, and then nourishing. But this is the same energy here. Apart from here, we're getting nourishing over lake. So 1, restricting, not 1, sorry, restricting is 60 actually. Let's have a look. Yeah. And 27 is nourishing. 27. And then let's have a look at earth over lake. Kun. Do we? Earth over lake, which is 19. So let's first check out 60 here. Water. Water, yeah. Anyway, repeating that. Water. And then let's have a look at 27. Or 18. 19 actually, because we are almost there. After remedying, so we got approaching. Which is this is one of the season gua. Turning back, earth, and I think nourishing is earth too, if I don't remember, so it's earth, yeah. So let's have a look at the inner. What's feeding? Like this is the inner that's sort of feeding what's going on more without, although this section is more within as well. So it's feeding, helping us create this joy that we can then, in this, we are can hear water above is speaking about danger and darkness and difficulty. Like water is difficulty, but it's also speaking about fear and overcoming fear and transmuting fear into courage. So actually moving forward with strength and courage with the water. But water here is overflowing into the lake, and then so we must restrict the overflow and actually redirect the flow of water. So in the ancient times, in the ancient China, people were living by the Yellow River that always used to overflow every year. And then, but instead of like having everything destroyed, they will redirect the water into smaller rivers and flowing water, and probably using it to irrigate their crops and all this, right? So by restricting, by redirecting and restricting, we can make great use of the overflow we have in a better way, right? So we are creating great boundaries in order to direct our energy in a different way. So what we're doing here now is that we are leaving behind definitely things that do not serve, where we're just leaking energy, like this leakage of water down into the lake so it overflows, where we're just leaking energy. We are not doing that anymore. We are restricting this and we are redirecting it in a different way and putting our energy towards our life purpose and our soul's calling. So that's what restricting are speaking about. And then we're actually moving into approaching. But first have a look at the nourishing. So to nourish is to be really careful with what we're putting into our mouth. We actually got thunder above mountain. And a mountain is solid, it's stillness, right? A mountain is very still, so it's stillness above, but it's like you've got the movement below. And this movement and this stillness, they're complementary, right? So we're moving, but in stillness. And in this way, we are making movements, but it's careful movements. And what everything we do is very I don't want to use the word calculated, but it's considered like movement. So we consider what we take in, we consider what we give out, right? So what we eat and what we nourish with ourselves, what we read, the information we take in, we really make sure we just take in information that is nourishing to our soul. We're taking in good food for our body, with lots of vitamins and nutrients, and also what we give out, the words that we speak, right? And the thoughts that we have within, it needs to be nourishing as well. So if you go around and being very angry and upset, then we are not nourishing our soul in a very good. And then in the end, this is what we keep on sharing. We will share with the world the anger and frustration, but we don't want to suppress it. We want to transmute it into peace, this inner peace, this solid inner peace of the lake, right? So we can radiate it out, the joy, radiate it out, despite the fact that we are still in a difficult situation, right? But we are definitely moving out of it because we have learned how to redirect our energy, use our energy in the best way. So even there are blockages, or even if there's too much going on at the moment, but we are taking it in and then we are redirecting the energy in the way that we want to take it. We want to use it, but we can use it for the best rather than just leaking it in places where we have no purpose, right? Where it's not benefiting us or anyone else. And then let's have a look at the approach gua. First, we're going to look at the changing line of restricting and then moving into the approach Ching gua. Restricting. So here it's speaking here, restricting prosperous and smooth, not appropriate to be steadfast in bitter restriction. Okay, not appropriate to be steadfast. Often the I Ching is speaking about as being steadfast and upright as being the appropriate way. But by always being steadfast, it means that we are not being able to change direction. Like it's always remaining in who we are, right? And not being able to change if the circumstances demands it. So sometimes yielding is the best approach, right? So we are not getting ourselves into conflict, unnecessary conflict. Yesterday we actually had contention here, which is conflict, and contention is talking about, rather than actually taking something all the way to the court or getting into an argument and pushing for our points, is trying to find the middle way and trying to solve the conflict before it actually becomes a conflict. And this is here is also, so it's not appropriate to be steadfast, right? It's better if we yield and allowing, rather than actually pushing for what we believe is right? Pushing for, no, it should be this way, and not backing down. It doesn't mean that we shouldn't speak our truth, but we should speak our truth with clarity and then state it. But then if we're not being heard, and if people has got, or our leaders or whoever has got other ideas, well, then we yield. But we must speak our truth, but we're doing it with kindness, and we're doing it not out of anger. It's with steadiness. But we are prepared to yield, if people don't agree. So we're not actually standing, you're just remaining steadfast and just keep on pushing for it and not giving in, because that's not very good. So that's restricting. So let's have a look at the changing line, which is the fifth line. The fifth line is at a supreme position, a king's place. He is the one referred to in the commentary on the decision, where Confucius says, passing the danger with joy, carrying on restriction in the proper position. From the central and correct place, his advances without limitation. He accepts the situation of restriction pleasantly. He practices frugality and encourages people to live a thrifty life. Good fortune prevails. Advance will bring esteem. Yes, so passing the danger here. We're passing the danger with joy, right? So we are transmuting the fear we have for the danger into courage, and then we have this inner steadiness, the joy. So whatever we're going through right now, it's we're passing that with joy. We can do that. So because we've cultivated our inner virtue, so we have found this inner steadiness that we can return to easily these days. If we can feel like anger and frustration and fear and all these kind of things rise, we have the tools now to sink into a more steady center, and then act from that steady center, and then radiate joy in everything that we do. Okay, so let's have a look at approaching. So we are actually so it also talks about his advances without limitation. Okay. He accepts the situation of restriction pleasantly. Yeah, so if we have to yield and step back and not actually, we might not get our way in the way we believe is the correct way, but we're joyfully doing that. It's fine. We just let it go and then move on with other things, okay? We do not keep on pushing for something. We are not leaking our energy anywhere where it's just useless, because that's what it is if we keep on fighting for something where we cannot, where we're blocked. Okay, we just move on in a different direction, which is the correct direction. So Lin approaching. When many things have happened and been remedied, one can approach greatness. Thus, after remedying, approaching follows. So approaching, sublimely prosperous and smooth, favourable to be steadfast and upright. And now, after we've been able to yield, now we go back to actually being who we truthfully are, and we remain in that one. It's our good virtues, and then remain steady, and then upright, which is who we truly are and what we stand for. So we will, as we move into this, we can move back into that and being truthfully us, okay? So joyous in obedience, the firm is central and properly responded to. Great success along with correctness. This is the Tao heaven. So approaching the firm is advancing and growing here. So here we've got lots of yin, 4 yin, and then 2 yang. And they're speaking about the firm here. They are approaching and growing. Okay, so we're moving into more of an action state. We've been guided very often during this last few months to just step back and then rest and don't get involved, and to cut away patterns and whatever is like doesn't serve us anymore, rather than actually making any great strides forwards. So now the solids are moving forward here. So we're moving into a place where we're taking more action and we're stepping into our new purpose, our soul's purpose. Earth above lake, an image of approaching. In correspondence with this, the superior person is willing to teach inexhaustedly and in his tolerance protect the people without limit. So in his tolerance, okay, peaceful, tolerant, not judgmental. We will protect people without limit. And this is, we've been in this situation where it's been a lot of contention. Things have not been running smoothly. It's been quite a rather toxic situation and a lot of conflict. But because we've been remaining steadfast and upright, and we are continue doing this, and because we are being truthfully us, and we're not rising to anger, and we've not been taking part of all this conflict, we've been having strong boundaries, which restricting is talking about as well, right? It's having strong boundaries towards what we don't want in our life without being hateful or angry. It's just more of an energetic stance that we've been taking. This is not okay. We've been speaking up for ourselves, but with a kind voice, with a strong voice, strong boundaries, but not in anger, okay? And then, so in this way, we've been teaching other people, an inspiration, that we are not being drawn into the drama of the other people are created, okay? We're remaining steady us. So not being drawn into the drama. And that is, in this way, we're actually teaching how to actually approach life in the best way and not being part of all the drama that's going on in the world. However, it doesn't mean that we should ignore it, but we are dealing with it in a way which is the best way, right? Sometimes we move forward, sometimes we move backwards. We need to be in accordance with time, with all our actions, not pushing forward when there is complete blockage and we just end up leaking energy. So then we might step back and nourish ourselves and then plan our next step in a better way and finding a different direction, redirecting our energies in a better direction. Okay, so that was the I Ching reading for today. I hope it was of benefit, and I'm wishing you a beautiful day ahead.